Both of Taehyung and Jungkook are just quiet while listening to the sound of the ocean and feeling the wind breeze in their skin until Jungkook spoke. So he started off. You have to answer my question yet. Jungkook continued. You never ask any. Taehyung at how ridiculous Jungkook was. I did, Jungkook said. Oh yeah, when? Taehyung continued to chuckle, thinking Jungkook was just making fun of him, but on the back of his head, he knew Jungkook isn't a person to do that. Last night, Jungkook replied. Yeah, last night? When you, Taehyung was checking about it, but when soon realized it, he stopped in his tracks while looking up at Jungkook. Jungkook's expression was serious. Do I have to repeat that again for you? Jungkook asked. Taehyung knew exactly what he was talking about. Gosh, I'm so tired. I'm going back to my room now. Bye. Taehyung tried to avoid the topic and go back to inside, but Jungkook pulled him back before he could walk away, making Taehyung spin and feeling towards Jungkook wish the older glare catch him. After a second they connected. Taehyung immediately stayed back up. I said last night if you could still continue to like me, Jungkook said, and their Taehyung heartbeat became faster. His brain is not functioning well. He wanted to say that he can't, but he know deep inside he still likes you, and at this point he might even be in love with him now. I know I said horrible things to you. I was too rude and cold to you. Whenever you try lemon-trick on me just to get my attention, Jungkook chuckled lightly. Remember all the memories Taehyung tried to flirt with him or just getting his attention with all his might, but Jungkook always rejected him. The last night when you asked me what do I think about you, I was not sure back then. I was in denial. I guess that's why I said those hurtful things to you. I'm really sorry that. Jungkook continued. Taehyung tried to speak, but Jungkook says him. Shh. Taehyung, listen to me first. Jungkook said. This will be first time I'm honestly going to say this. I'm sorry if it took a lot of time, but Kim Taehyung, I like you. Jungkook finally confessed. Here, Jungkook read off his head and gave Taehyung's roll paper with a ribbon tied. Eat it. Open it. Jungkook said with a smile. Taehyung did open it and read what it said. Marriage contract. Taehyung read out loud and pretend letter at the top. It was like how he made those for Jungkook shine. Taehyung chuckled while reading the rest of the paper, a tear dropping down his cheeks before he ripped off the paper by I'm sorry, Jungkook, I can't, Taehyung said, sniffing. Jungkook hurriedly in pushing back his tears and giving Taehyung's questioning look. Jungkook, there's something I really need to tell you, Taehyung said, tears continue falling down his cheeks. Taehyung, whatever that is, it's okay, I'll understood you. You don't have to be afraid. I'm here for you too, okay? Jungkook tried to comfort Taehyung, even though he really don't have a clue what Taehyung is about to say, as he at Taehyung's younger cheeks and wiped away his tears. All he was thinking is Taehyung and it's it. Taehyung choked on his tears, propping himself. The other next reaction about what he was about to say. I was the boy from the accident last year, Taehyung sobbed. Jungkook suddenly stopped breathing. What do you mean? Jungkook asked in shaky voice. I was the reason your mom drove to the different land to avoid me, and then the truck, Taehong said between sobs. He couldn't stop shaking from the accident that actually him that his brain forgot about all the because of too much guilt he had. Jungkook was also tried to recall the accident and remembered a faint memory of a boy running away while he asked for help. Jungkook, I can't see you like this anymore. I'm so sorry. I will pay for what I did for rest of my life. My sin will forget me down till my last breath. Let's just not see each other anymore so we won't get hurt. Taehyung said and took off Jungkook's grip from his hand, and that's where still holding him. Kim Taehyung. That's all that Jungkook managed to say. He couldn't really process anything all at once. It's also too much for him that he didn't know what to say for real. Taehyung just walked back inside, leaving the older dumbfounded and face drenched in tears. The next day, Taehyung immediately left without even saying anything to Jungkook. Jungkook decided to stay for the day at the rest since he booked it for 3 days there, and he just thought he should give himself time of thinking about the situation. He didn't want to lose Taehyung, but the situation they were in just so difficult with their twins' fate. Jungkook sighed as he looked at Taehyung's door that was across his room with sad eyes. You are leaving tomorrow? Jiminy asked with a sad tone. Yeah, I already made up my mind for this. I'm sorry, Taehyung said while he packing up. Jimin come to help him and Suga as well. Well, Suga been crying for horns now, wiping non-stop. I'll miss having Taehyung around really. Those go Suga crying again and Jimin had to him all over again. Jimin didn't mind at all as long as he get to hold Suga's hand. The three of are always together since high school. We been thoughts happy and thoughts time. Suga continued. Now you guys get to be together without me third while anymore. Taehyung jokes. I would like to see you third whale, Jaemin said. Yeah, me too. Suga sniffed and wiped his tears with a tissue. But if you already made a decision to we even have the choice, Jimin added and continued to help Taehyung pack. Taehyung felt guilty about leaving his best friend behind and he just wanted to cheer them up, so he thought of a way. Hey, so how about we go out like the old day? Taehyung suggested. I mean, since I'm leaving tomorrow, let's have some fun today, Taehyung added. They are in, Suga said, and the three of them smiled at each other. The wind blew past their skin, making their hair flew up a little. Sitting there under the tree is the best spot. Suga was reading a comic book while leaning into the tree. Jimin was taking a nap on Suga's laps while Taehyung was just lying down their blanket while watching the blue sky. I suddenly want ice cream, Jimin said, sitting back up after waking up from his little nap. Want me to buy some? Suga asked softly, brushing him hair that was in the way so he could see those beautiful eyes again. Jimin nodded unconsciously, making him even look cuter, which Suga obviously is bad at handling. He then just shuffled Jimin's hair again, making him seem like a puppy. Taehangi, do you want some too? Suga asked. Yeah, just the chocolate flavor ones. Thank you, Taehang replied. With what? Suga stood up to buy ice cream for the three of them for a nearby ice cream stall he could find. So, Taehang Jimin called. Yeah, Jungkook. Taehang answered, not directing his eyes away from the cloud floating above him. Jungkook been asking me about you. Jimin said, are you really just going to leave without saying anything to him? Jimin added. Taehang sighed and sat back up where he was lying down. I can't face him anymore, knowing that I did something horrible, Taehang said. Hey, even if I have to say this 1,000 times or more, I'll still say that it's not your fault. I hope someday you forgive yourself and always remember I'm just here by your side, okay? Jimin said. And I'm also sorry for not being there when you need someone. Me and Suga are sorry for letting you face it all on your way. It must be hard for you too, Jimin. Continue, almost tearing up. Guilt has been building up him too. But hey, if you have problem or if you there anything on your mind, you know I am always here to listen. I don't mind you crying with all over. Jimin sniffed and as well as did Taehang. Were not you the one who get more than me? Taehang said, and also almost. What are you saying? No, I'm not, Jimin said. But anyway, Jimin, I wanna thank you so much, you and Suga. I just thank you so much. Taehang couldn't form any sentence now, and all that he could say was thank you. The both of them hugging each other and let each other tears fall. After a few moments, Suga came back. Why are you leaving me out of the hugging session? Am I the third? No? Okay guys, good for you. Suga came holding 3 ice cream cones. Both Taehang and Jimin looked up and they decided to go to sleep over at Taehang's apartment since he's already flying tomorrow morning and they'll be soon standing up. But as soon as they reached Taehang's apartment building, they saw Jungkook leaning on his motorbike. It seems like he was waiting for them. September 2016, when recently Taehang's brother Namjoon was with early stage of, but if he didn't receive immediately treatment, it will worsen his condition. Their mother barely even gave about them. She was always drunk on her way home, even since she and their father divorced a year ago. She always put the blame on his 2 sons about hanging. Taehang, as the big brother, he took care of Namjoon and sometimes took care of their mother as well, as because he also just heard about how his mother turned out. Taehang did all jobs, almost skipping his class just so he can earn for the treatment of his brother. He looks all giggly and smart, but whenever he was all alone by himself, he just found himself crying in dark. He had a really bad day that time. He was fired 2 out of 3 of his job because he made mistake, probably because of all stress he was going on thoughts. And the other job was because of his mother bringing his growing darkness about bleeding money. But Taehang, his boss, was disappointed and was angry. He got offered. Top of that, his mother took all the money that was supposed of his brother treatment. One that day he wanted to do something so bad and he didn't care about anything anymore. Sadness and disappointment shaking pieces blinked him, thinking of only one way, and by taking his own life. After that night, he woke up lying down on a hospital bed. Namjoon was cried beside his bed. About beside Namjoon again, there standing a woman in their 30s wearing a posing-looking cloth, crossing luxurious bag. "Who are you?" Taehyung asked the woman in his weak voice. "I was the one who called ambulance. If you guys, young boy," the woman said their kind voice. The woman eventually introduced herself as a cousin of their father who had a request to her take care of his kind. He died. Her name is, and probably she lives in Australia. She said, "I've been looking for them for months." After the night, he seemed to forget what happened to the accident. His memories seemed mixed and missing, and what he only remembered was being hit by a motorbike. Taehyung was distanced at first, but after a few days in the hospital with the woman taking care of him, he eventually got familiar with her, while Namjoon was just sweet as ever. When Taehyung got discharged and they went back to their home, their mother was not found there, and after a few days passed, it seemed like she never came back. The woman was rich and when she leaned the Namjoon head, she told the boys to fly with her back to Australia. But Taehyung didn't want to go, and he said he'll be fine if he stay here, so he didn't let with them. He also wanted to find their mother and take her to Australia with them. After a few months, he got accepted by a job in a company as secretary of the CEO, and that's how he finally met Jungkook, the cold-hearted Jack, but also hot at the same time that Taehyung had laid his eyes on ever since he saw him for the first time. Little did he know that his boss was the same person from that night's incident. Namjoon's heart took a sudden leap when his personal nurse Seok-jin leaned down to match his level and looking straight into his eyes. "I said move," Namjoon said, and bit his lip from embarrassment of doing so. "What are you doing?" "Do if I don't," Jin asked with a smirk. Namjoon started to giving the nurse a glare. "Why are you doing this?" Namjoon asked. Jin stood up straight again, but not taking his gaze away from the young girl. "Why are you frustrated?" Jin's smile smirking turned into a grin. He started to take a step forward. Namjoon rolls back his wheelchair in response. "I'm going to fire you if you continue to be like this," Namjoon said, try to dominate the situation, but Jin doesn't look scared at all. "Go ahead," Jin replied and continued to step forward while Namjoon backed off his wheelchair. "Do you like me?" Namjoon comforted and was straight when his wheelchair finally hit the wall, causing from him to jump a little on the impact. Jin then took his hope the concern him. He held the armrest of the wheelchair, leaning back down again to the younger level. Their faces were closed then before, like as if they were about to. What are you gonna do about it if I do?" Jin asked. Namjoon clapped as he took into the older, deep, dark brown eyes. I don't know," Namjoon replied, stuttering again. Jin continued to stare at the younger for a few seconds before leaning away, going back to standing straight and letting off an air scoff, still with a grin. But its grin turned to a smile. He then reached to shove the younger hair. "Know about it then, Jin said before walking away with his hand on his scrub pockets. Namjoon watched the older walk away, still with a glare but also mixed with a confused look. He just a sign and made his way back to his room. It's almost already his bedtime now, and Namjoon just finished dinner as well as done with washing up. Namjoon went to his desk to start writing to his diary. To his shock, he can't find it anywhere in his desk. He tried to deep breathless to calm himself while trying to stay positive that he didn't lost his diary. He tried to find it anyway in his room, but still it couldn't be seen anywhere. He called once of maid and asked for the missing diary, but no one knew where it went. Namjoon screamed in frustration and immediately rolled his wheelchair out his room to find the diary. He went to the garden where he always went to in the morning, thinking he might be left in there. He already almost crying while desperately looking for the notebook, looking for something. A familiar voice said, "Not now, Jin." Namjoon said, voice shaking. "So now you are addressing me in my first name," Jin said. "Narcisio, I swear," Namjoon replied, trying his best to calm himself. "And not in violence tonight. I'm not under the table." "Dumpy," Jin continued. Namjoon had enough of it and finally faced his nurse, ready to pinch him in the face, but he saw the other was holding something familiar in yellow color. "My diary? Why do you have that?" Namjoon exclaimed. He tried to snatch it out of the older's hold, but the olders held it higher than Namjoon couldn't reach it. "Why are you so eager to get it back? Are you hiding something in the hair?" Jin continued to tease. "Give it back now," Namjoon said, getting his teeth. "Let's see," Jin said, and started opening the diary. To his shock, Namjoon stood up to prevent him from doing it, but his balance was not stable, causing for Namjoon to fall forward towards Jin, also causing for him to fall with the youngest too. Namjoon ended on the up of Jin, and the diary fell on the ground next to them. They both said a good 10-second eye contact. Jin realized how pretty Namjoon was in this small distance where he can clearly see the younger eyes, his pretty shaped nose, as well as the pretty like his cheeks and across his nose, and the nervous just like what was doing now. I can't get back up," Namjoon whispered, shyly asking for help. "Do you want to stay like this for a while then?" Jin asked. Namjoon clapped and couldn't answer. He bit his lips once again. Jin looked down at it and back at Namjoon's eyes. "Stop that, or I'll do it for you." "What?" Namjoon whispered. Just then, Jin leaned in closer until they're with each other. Namjoon unconsciously closed his eyes. Both hearts beat fast in those few seconds. The world felt like it stopped carpet spinning, and there's nothing but the two of them together, and they're touching each other after they both separated from each other, and no one was taking between the two of them. Jin finally helped the younger stand back up, and Namjoon his balance again, even if he still feel weak. So carry himself his feet. Just then the sound of his palm hitting the older's cheeks there the place. Namjoon didn't say anything more and carefully went back to his wheelchair with his diary on his hand, and then proceeded to go back inside. Jin definitely felt the in his face, but he didn't even reach a single expression until he just watched the youngest go back inside. He chuckled while reaching up to his cheeks. "He's so cute," he whispered to himself. Ignore his nurse. Jin completely watched his thoughts was really since Jin someone who can ignore completely because he is attending to him with his medical needs, but he just need to go with it. "Are you just gonna ignore me after slapping me?" Jin asked after he drank down his medicine where he was embarrassed, but he kept his cool and didn't answer the older as if he never heard anyone or anything. He placed the empty glass on the table and rolled his wheelchair away. Jin just scoffed quite disappointment while with the other attitude. Namjoon thought the heaven is on his side. When Jin's friend Jihope came, he thought I'll be enough to distract his nurse and maybe stop presenting him like any other day. But then I'm actually here to visit you. Jihope smiled at Namjoon with fresh flower in his hand. "Me?" he asked, stuttering and confused. Jihope chuckled and scratched the back of his head slyly. Namjoon just chuckled too and accepted the flower. He sniffed it and it smelled nice. "I picked them myself from our garden," Hope said. "Well, you help me place them in a visa then," Namjoon suggested. "Sure," Hope replied and went to push Namjoon's wheelchair back inside. Little did they know Jin was almost glaring at the two of them as he watched them. He even followed them and continued to watch them decorated the vase with flower, and they put smile on their flower and looked like a married couple. Jin was obviously jealous, but he thought it was his fault. If he just made a move before Hope, this wouldn't happen right now. The day passed with Namjoon hanging out together and leaving Jin behind. They were just having fun with themselves, and Jin was just sulking at the concert, watching the two with obviously jealous in his eyes. Finally, it was time for Hope to go home, so Jin immediately went to Namjoon and consoled him once again. "Do you like?" Jin asked, making the younger flush. He tried to ignore the older's eyes and roll his wheelchair away, but Jin didn't let him go. "Why are you ignoring me?" Jin asked. "Because I like you," Namjoon replied. Jin's heart just collapsed. There's nothing more he could say. He just lost. Wait, but Namjoon finally left the scenes with Jin still staring at the air. It was night time and Namjoon just finished writing down on his diary and is now lying down his bed. Comfort seeping in thoughts his sense, and he drifted further to dreamland, but then a rock sound woke him up again. He was so startled his eyes flashed opening right away. It was raining hard outside and it's really dark in his room, given that he can't sleep with light opened. Another sound of the thunder was heard, and with that he became more scared. He can't sleep like this anymore. Despite still feeling weak and shaky, he managed to get to the door using his feet cause he forgot where the wheelchair went and he can't see that much. He called out his aunties as soon as he opened the door, but no one answered him even already night time and everyone sleep. He called his aunties again with his voice close to crying while taking a step after another. Still no one answered him. Aunties Namjoon collapsed to the ground after another thunder come out and followed by a lightning. He sobbed as he sat on the floor. Namjoon, he heard a familiar voice. "Why are you here?" His personal nurse asked, worried and caring. Namjoon faced to wipe away his tears, but Namjoon just sobbed more. Namjoon just crept onto Jin's sweater, still crying in fear. Jin embraced to Youngus and crossing his back to comfort him. "Shh, it's okay, I'm here," Jin whispered to the younger ear sweetly. After a few minutes, Jin decided to carry the younger back to his room. He laid the younger down back to his bed, but Namjoon grip didn't leave his sweater. "Do you want me to stay with you for a while?" Jin asked, still leaning in close to Namjoon for how he placed the younger earlier. Namjoon kept his eyes closed and didn't reply. He just held the sweater tight and if he didn't want to order to go. After a few seconds, Namjoon his eyebrow while his eyes still closed. He groaned almost sound like he is about to cry. "Don't leave," Namjoon said. Jin thought he was just taking in his sleep. His voice was shaking and was pulling Jin's sweater closer. Without thinking twice, the older settled down beside Namjoon, embraced him and whispered sweet things to him while Namjoon leaned onto him more. "Namjoon, Hyun." The two brothers hugging each other, Taekook having to bow down to reach the other. "It's so nice to have you back again." Namjoon started to tear up. "Ah, my little brother, don't cry." Taekook chuckled, caressing his little brother's face with fondness in his eyes. "I just miss you so much," Namjoon pouted. "What about Mom?" Namjoon asked. One of the reasons why the Hung stay in Korea is because of their mom. She did bad things that also had affected and ruined the two brothers, but that doesn't erase the fact that she is still their mother and they too still care about her. Sadly, I still haven't found her. There was sadness in Taekook's tone. After a few seconds, their auntie showed up, inviting the boys to continue inside to have a snack. The maids helped Taekook to his room. Taekook had enough after having a sandwich and juices since the flight barely tried him out. After a few hours of sleep, he woke up seeing Namjoon cling into him while he slept beside him too. He smiled at his little brother. After a few seconds, Namjoon suffered and opened his eyes too. Oh, Namjoon smiled. Taekook puckered his lips sadly, teasing the other and choking, asking for a kiss. Namjoon immediately backs away, giving him a disgusting look. Hey, how dare you back away? I'm your home, Taekook exclaims. You didn't process your teeth earlier, Namjoon said. Hey, I did process my teeth, Taekook said, defended himself. I didn't say it that, Namjoon said, smiling. Of course you won't. Why would I brush my teeth in front of you? Taekook exclaimed. After a few minutes of chatting, they finally went out to eat dinner with their auntie. Auntie was happy to have Taekook with them again, and surely Taekook was too. They had a delicious meal together. After that, Namjoon was in his room having a hot bath to prepare for bedtime. He was done bathing and needs to get out of the tub now, but he felt incredibly weak to clear himself out, and it was really sleepy. He just finished all his chromotherapy session, and it affected his body greatly, leading for him to feel weak to even walk by himself. He then called out for help whenever in this kind of instant, but auntie would help him out. But it seemed that his auntie was not around. He was too shy to call out anyone other than her. He tried his best to cry himself out. He knew it was really dangerous. He cried. He didn't know what to do. He felt so helpless. He saw while he did his best to get out of the tub with all his strength. He almost did it, but his hand slipped and was so close to hitting his head. If it was not for his nurse, Jin to catch him right on time. Namjoon was so shocked and devastated. He didn't even care who it was who saved him, but he just reared up against him and sobbed even harder, gripping the other's shirt. Jin's shirt depended for Namjoon clinging into him, but he didn't mind. He immediately put a towel around him so he won't shiver and also protect his privacy. He took another towel to dry the younger damp hair. He did it softly. Namjoon looked up at him and it startled the younger to see who he was clinging onto for the past few minutes now. Why are you here? Namjoon asked, sniffing. I heard you sob. We were calling out your auntie, but she unfortunately had a sudden important business meeting, so I immediately went in to help. Jin explained. Sorry if I break in without your permission. Don't worry, I didn't say anything, Jin added, which created a silent blush in Namjoon's breaking cheeks. Namjoon brushes his face on Jin's chest while still gripping on his shirt. It was almost softer than a whisper, but Jin heard Namjoon smile. Thank you. He smiled a little before carrying him and letting him sit on the closed toilet with a large towel covering him. Do you still need help dressing up? Jin asked while Namjoon just kept on looking down in embarrassment. No, I'm fine now, Namjoon said. Jin nodded and finally went to the door to exit. You can bath here too if you want, Namjoon suddenly said, making Jin stop on his tracks. I mean, your clothes are all wet because of me, Namjoon shuddered. You could be just asking me to bath with you, if that's what you want, Jin joked before he finally exited the door, leaving Namjoon screaming in direction. After he finished dressing up, Jin helped him to his wheelchair and exiting the dressing room attached to the bathroom. Jin was still in his wet cloth, his only body seeping in the cloth. Is it really okay to shower here? Jin asked and Namjoon nodded, avoiding to look at the order. I'll prepare clothes you can borrow, Namjoon said. With that, Jin went into the bathroom and made a quick shower. After he done, a towel and new set of clothes were folded on top of the dresser. He went out of the dressing room after he fully dressed up. Seriously, a hoodie? Jin asked with one of his eyebrows raised. It's the only cloth I have that will fit you, Namjoon said. Will you kindly explain this heart-ending pajama then? Jin asked, kicking the air, and can't you just be thankful that I gave you something decent to wear? Namjoon rolled his eyes. Jin then propped down Namjoon's bed. Why are you lying down my bed? You idiot, I'm not going to leave, Namjoon said, annoyed. You were asking for me to bath with you earlier and now you want me to leave, Jin said. You know, I was not talking about that, Namjoon said. I know, I just wanted to tease you, Jin said. You are always like that. You are so annoying. Namjoon rolled his eyes. Is that why you prefer hope over me? Jin asked suddenly. What? Namjoon asked. I like you, Namjoon, Jin confessed. Namjoon rolled his wheelchair next to the bed in front of where Jin was. Don't give me that taekook. I won't fall for that again, Namjoon said, straightly while looking into Jin's eyes. Do I look like I'm joking? Jin asked, looking back at Namjoon. Think of a reason. Why would I kiss you that night if I don't like you, Namjoon? Jin added. Because you want to tease me? Namjoon answered. Then, why do you think I wanted to tease you? Jin asked again. Because you wanted attention, Namjoon answered once again. Exactly, Jin replied. Namjoon was confused. I wanted your attention because I like you, Dumpy, Jin said. Namjoon clapped. But you already said you like my best friend and I can't do anything about it. I don't want to force or anything. Jin gave a sad smile. I'm sorry, I was late, Jin said and gave Namjoon a pet and small smile. Namjoon saw pain in it. Jin then stood up to leave, but Namjoon held him back with tugging the hoodies he was wearing. Jin looked back at Namjoon. The younger stood up from his wheelchair to match the eye level with the other. Jin helped him maintain his balance as he stood up. Namjoon then wrapped his arm around the elder's neck and within a second Namjoon pulled him in for its latest for a few seconds before Namjoon pulled away. Now, tell me, why would I kiss you just now if I don't like you to? Namjoon said. Jin was confused. It's not like that I like. It was you, Namjoon said, trailing his hand to cup the other cheek. I just said that you would stop presenting me cause I am embarrassing to face you after that. Namjoon nodded almost in a whisper and then, looking down in embarrassment, also, you were not late. You were just right in time like how you always been whenever I need you. Namjoon continued with a blush in his cheeks. Namjoon, Jin called out. The younger looked up once again. His eyes are shining as Jin looked back at him. Would you kiss me again? Jin requested. Namjoon bit his lip to prevent himself from smiling and then slowly leaned in until he felt Jin lick again his own once again. It was sweet and soft as their lips moved slowly against each other. Jin leaned in more too deep to the and Namjoon melted into it. His legs felt weaker than it already is. That's why Jin carried him to slowly lie him down his bed without breaking. Both were so lost in each other. That's where totally started, and Namjoon accidentally when Taekook exclaimed at the sign in front of him. Namjoon. Taekook was just shocked as well. The two immediately jumped away from each other. What is this? Taekook asked. His eyes were wide-eyed and his mouth are open wide. Hyun, we are not dying anything, I promise, Namjoon said, trying to explain. Taekook just gave Namjoon a suspicious glare. I saw everything, little brother. He then turned to Jin. You? Taekook pointed at him with a warning look. Better treat my little brother nicely, okay? I'll kick you back to Mars, Taekook said. But I'm not even from, Jin tried to protest. Do you wanna have a taste of my feats instant? Taekook treated and Jin immediately zipped his mouth shut. I'll be watching you two. Taekook pointed at the two of them with a glare as he exited the room. As soon as he left, Jin and Namjoon looked at each other. They then eventually started laughing at each other. So, Jin started. Namjoon, in a response, waiting for Jin to go on. Are you mine now? Jin asked. Already. Namjoon raised his eyebrow. Quote me first, idiot, Namjoon said. Sure. Thanks, my princess. Jin smiled. The night before Taekook's departure, get on Jungkook order. Jungkook, what are you doing? Taekook tried to question, but Jungkook cut him off again. I said, get on. Jungkook tried not to raise his voice and continued in. Taekook noticed in his eyes too, and he didn't want to make a scene, so he just decided to do what he was told. He was just about to get on the motorbike when Suga held his arm to stop him. What are Where are you taking Taehoon? Suga asked, glaring at Jungkook. None of your business. Now let's go. It was Jungkook's turn to glare at his hand holding Taehoon and then going back up at Suga's face. I'm not letting you take him. He's staying with us. Suga was stubborn. Look, I'm not doing anything bad to him, okay? Jungkook said. Just let them be, Jimin whispered to Suga and holding him back now. After a few more seconds, Suga finally gave in and slowly let his grip looser from Taehoon's arm. Jungkook gave Taehoon a hand upon getting up to motorbike and they went off there after the both of them wore the helmet of safety. Jimin and Suga just watched them drive away. Hold on tight, Jungkook said to Taehoon as they drove towards the almost empty streets. Taehoon did what he was told and tightened his grip on Jungkook's waist. After the small ride, they arrived at a high place Taehoon didn't know where, but the city lights were clearly seen from there and it was such a wonderful view. Taehoon, I just wanna talk to you, Jungkook said. We are talking now, Taehoon replied. Jungkook sang. Taehoon couldn't even look at him straight in the eyes. Taehoon, look at me. Taehoon bite his lip and try but can't hold it long and look away again. Can you tell me the whole thing that happened that night? Jungkook asked. Why? Were you there? Jungkook asked again. Is that even important? Taehoon asked back. Of course it is, Jungkook replied. Taehoon continued to bite his lip. After a few seconds, he broke down into tears and collapsed to the ground. Can I just leave? He sobbed. I'm so guilty at what happened. I was so stupid to forget about it all while falling for you. Taehoon continued, voicing shaky. I'm so sorry. He sobbed. Jungkook crossed down too and cupped the younger cheek, wiping away his tears. Taehoon finally looked at Jungkook. Are not you angry? Don't you despise me? It's all my fault, he cried. No, Taehoon, it's not your fault, Jungkook said. How could you say that? Taehoon is still crying. It was an accident, Taehoon. You never really wanted that to happen, right? Jungkook replied. But still, Taehoon tried to speak more, but Jungkook didn't let him. Taehoon, please, can't you just stay? Jungkook asked. No more like he begging. Taehoon can see the pain in the other eyes as he said those words. I don't know, Jungkook. Another tears left Taehoon's eyes and so did at Jungkook's. I don't think I can go on without you, Jungkook said. Can you give me a week then? The younger said. If a week I'm not back, then I guess that's my decision, he added. I trust you, Taehoon. Jungkook sniffed. Can you just stay here with me for a while? I don't want to let you out, he added and brought the older in his arms. It's almost a month and Mr. Jian still seems so affected by Taehoon's departure. Jimin sighed as Suga walked him home. Why are you talking about him when I'm literally here, Sugar Paw? Why? Are you jealous? Jimin asked. Do you want me to? Suga asked back. Look at the youngest with one's eyes. Well, there's nothing for you to be jealous about. Suga smiled. Except for the day when I used to have a crush on him too, Jimin added, obviously teasing. Are you joking, right? Suga asked. But Jimin didn't reply and just walked ahead with a teasing smile on his face. Suga kept on catching up to his piece while continuously worrying about if it's true or not, but it's actually true. Another giggle in 2 minutes. On the other hand, Jungkook was indeed a total mess. He overworked himself every day so that he wouldn't miss the younger or taking a break from thinking about him too much. He barely had the appetite to eat. His sleep schedule was also ruined, as he always wait on his front door, stare at his gate until midnight, waiting for Kim Tae-hung to impossible came, but even so he always waited for him. Dory was also always with him, probably waiting for Tae-hung too. Kim Tae-hung, I'm going to kill you when I see you. I'm dead serious. Tear to his gate. Dory lied down beside Jungkook. Jungkook pressed the kitten for Dory into the human touch. Why are you always here with me every night? Are you also waiting for your dad? Dory just moves and yams. Taehangi will return badly. It's okay. Then felt tears drop in his eyes. Jungkook just stayed there overnight, but as always, no Taehyung came. He was starting to lose hope. Jeongi, I'm busy, okay? You can't make me go to this bar, Jungkook said as he read thoughts paper in his desk. His cousin, young Jeongi, paid a surprise visit in his offices and is now presenting him to come with him to a bar to have fun. Bro, look at yourself. You look like a zombie. You still waiting for that guy? Jeongin said. Can you just leave? Jungkook said. No, I like your office. Look cozy. Smile and pull down to sofa. I'm gonna tell mom you hate her cooking. Jungkook slammed his hand on his desk and sang. Fine, I'll come with you, Jungkook said. Prove up and beamed. You can't back out now, Jeongi said. Whatever. Jungkook rolled his eyes and stood up to put on his coat. You are going to a bar looking like that. You are not going there for work. Jeongi checked and went to fix Jungkook's suit to make him look, taking off the tie and opening someone. Jungkook just went on with it. They arrived at the bar and it was crowded. Many people dancing on the dance floor and some are making out, while some are just chilling out and having fun. Then they went to order drinks and went to sit on free seat just to clear things out. I'm just here to accompany you, okay? Jungkook said. I don't know about that. And singles someone from behind him. Jungkook turned his head back to see a girl in sparkly pink dress. The hymn ended and her mid things. Her hair waved their way down her below. Hi, the girl greeted. Jungkook sighed and turned back to give him a glare, but Younger just looked at him innocently. Can I sit with you guys? The girl asked. Yes, you can, Jeongin replied. It is just the two of you? The girl asked again and the younger male nodded. After a few moments their drinks came. Jungkook took a sip of his drink and so did Jeongin. The girl had a drink in her hand when she came. My name is Lily. By the way, what's yours? The girl said. My name is Jeonggi. This is my cousin Jungkook. Jeonggi said, pointed at himself and then his cousin. Well, then I guess I have to dance for a while. See you guys later, the younger male said after finishing his drink and walked his way to the dance floor, leaving Jungkook and Lily at the table. You are so quiet, Lily said. You see, I really didn't want to be here. It's just my cousin, Jungkook said. It's okay. I am just here to meet new people, so no biggie. Just she smiled. After a few minutes, they became comfortable with each other and just chatted. Turned out Lily her girlfriend cheated on her, so now she's single. Jungkook shared his story too, and with that, each gave finally advice. A few hours had passed and Jenny is almost passed out. He brought a girl to the table and turned out it was Lily's friend. This idiot is really a pain in the Jungkook rolled his eyes with Jeongin, drunkenly his cheeks non-stop. Lily just chuckled. I have a cousin like that too. They are so annoying, Lily said and rolled her eyes as well. He's cute, he said. This guy, Jungkook pointed at his cousin beside him with a disgusted face. Well, I think we should get going now, Jungkook said after looking at his watch. Want me to get a ride? Lily asked. No, it's okay. I can take care of this, Jungkook smiled. They exit the bar and call a taxi of Jeonggi to take him home, while Jungkook just walked him way back to whenever he was going back to. He didn't even know where to go exactly. He just wandered around middle classy. The visit to the bar was supposed to make him feel better, but he really didn't feel anything different at all. He is still in despair, still waiting for that someone when his answer that he is not gonna come back. After a few more steps and raindrops started to pour down. He doesn't even have an umbrella. He just sighed and continued walking through the streets, letting the heavy rain pour on him. His clothes are getting wet as well as his hair, but he didn't care anymore. After a few moments, he felt the rain stopped, or so he thought. He looked up and instead of seeing the cloudy sky, he saw an umbrella above him. He was so confused. He turned his head to the side to see who the owner of the umbrella was. his heart stopped. The owner of umbrella looked back at him with the same teary eyes as him. "You all got sick, came Taehong?" A tear escaped from Jungkook's eyes as he reached to cup the other male cheek. "What the? Look, you so long," Jungkook continued as he scanned the younger features, trying to figure out if he just or not. "It's really you?" Jungkook whispered after confirming it was real. He immediately hugged the younger. "It's really you?" Jungkook repeated, hugging Taehong tighter. Taehong could hold it longer and just abandoned the umbrella to hug the older back. "I miss you," Taehong cried as well. Both are now at Jungkook's office, since they were actually just near the company building earlier, so they just took a run. They dried their hair with clean towels and also already Hope got a new dry cloth that Jungkook kept in his locker in case of such emergencies. Taehyung was looking at himself in the mirror. Jungkook in his office where his whole body in reflected on it. Jungkook walked up to him and softly wrapped his arm around the younger waist, holding him softly and warm. Taehyung looked at Jungkook thoughts the mirror and the older looked back to him. "What are you doing?" Taehyung asked. "Don't you think this is Taehyung added, looking at the door from the mirror to see if anyone's coming in. "It's okay. They all know soon anyway," Jungkook said, comfortably placing his chin on Taehyung's shoulder. "Know what?" Taehyung asked. That I'm you," Jungkook replied, full of confidence. Taehyung smiled. "Do you really mean that?" Taehyung asked. Jungkook in agreement. "But why do you smell like alcohol?" Taehyung asked, turning around to face the older. "Oh, my cousin took me to a bar earlier," Jungkook said. "Do I smell bad?" Taehyung paused a little. "No, I was just new to it. Alcohol. Breathe. Suits you anyway," Taehyung replied. "Wanna know how its tastes like?" Jungkook asked. "How?" Taehyung asked geniusly, kind confused and curious. But Jungkook just smirked at him and leaned in for a kiss. Taehyung was startled and frustrated at first, but as soon as also turned the kiss and bringing up his hand to cup the other's male cheeks. "Taste it like pickles and lemons," Taehyung thought. But then a knock from the door, the both of them, that made Taehyung accidentally bite Jungkook's lips too. They immediately jumped away from each other and acted like nothing happened just now. Jungkook cleared his throat before saying loud, "Come in," for the person at the door to come in. The door opened, revolving an employee that is about to pass some paper for a project. Jungkook handled it quickly and let the employee leave after a few moments. While Taehyung was just sitting on the couch with his awkwardly. Jungkook called. "Kim?" Jungkook called. Taehyung bit his lip. He is now too shy after What happened? He can't even look at him in the eye. Of course, they were a few minutes now, but it's been a while and he just feel like it's the first time again. Are you blushing? Jungkook asked. No, I'm not, Taeyong replied defensively. Oh, you are, Jungkook grinned after seeing how frustrated Taeyong is. Taeyong just threw him a pillow nearby. Jungkook just giggled and catched the pillow to avoid mess. So, your brother requested for you to stay for a month and you can't stay? No? Jungkook asked again after hearing Taeyong's story. Yeah, we were separated for a long time and I did miss him too, Taeyong replied. Your brother must be lucky to have you, Jungkook smiled, swinging their arms as they walked hand in hand. Taeyong just scoffed and smiled a little. He didn't know how to react with the compliment. By the way, you can stay at my house if you still haven't found an apartment to stay, Jungkook said. Can I really do that? Taeyong asked. Of course, Jungkook replied. Thanks. Taeyong smiled. Jungkook sang. What? Taeyong asked. Nothing. I'm just happy, Jungkook said. I'm too, Taeyong replied. I'm never gonna let you go, Kim Taeyong, Jungkook said with a smile. So I hope you like this story. If you like, please don't forget like, share and subscribe my channel. See you soon. Bye.